So if a man spends a lot of time doing things for his mother and focusing on her needs, and he typically neglects his own needs and his own life is generally ignored, and this is just what is normal, then this is likely to show that he's not even aware of the fact that he is ignoring his own needs or neglecting his own life. And so what this can also mean is that he will be out of touch with his true self. And so how he comes across won't be a reflection of who he is. And as he is focused on his mother's life, his life is also not going to be a reflection of who he is. And when it comes down to his true self, this will relate to his needs, his feelings, his wants, his desires and his preferences, and most of these things will be found in his body. So if a man is out of touch with his true self, it is likely to mean that he will spend most of his time in his head and will be focused on his mother, so he will have an external focus and he won't have a very good connection to his inner world. But as I've said, if this is normal, he won't even realize this. But this doesn't mean that there won't be consequences. So through being out of touch with himself and living a life that doesn't reflect who he is, he can often feel angry and frustrated and depressed. But he can do what he can to push these feelings, this feedback, out of his conscious awareness and to carry on behaving in the same way. And so he will typically wear a mask. He can come across as easygoing and happy and appear to be okay with what is going on. But behind this mask will be a very different side. And although he is hiding his true self and this is causing him to suffer, it doesn't mean that he can just drop this mask and reveal who he is. Because most likely his true self will have gone into hiding. And in order for him to reveal who he is, to embrace how he feels and his needs, and then to express these parts of himself when he is around others, he will need to reconnect to his body and he will need to feel safe. And the reason why he will be out of touch with himself and why his true self will have gone into hiding will probably be due to what took place during his early years. And so during this time, his mother probably used him to meet some of her adult and unmet childhood needs. And so he had to focus on her. Because if he expressed his needs, he may have been punished, disapproved of and or abandoned. And so hiding his needs probably wouldn't have stopped this from taking place, but it may have decreased the amount of times that it did take place. And so all this trauma would have also pushed him out of his body. So not only won't he have felt safe, but he would have soon become estranged from himself. And he will now live on the surface of himself. So in order for him to connect to his true self, to get back into his body, he will most likely have a number of defenses and armoring to work through, and a lot of emotional pain as well, and trauma, because if he was to express his needs and feelings now, he could still believe, or he is likely to believe, that he will be harmed or abandoned. And so although part of him will have this need to express who he is, there will be a bigger, stronger part of him that doesn't want him to do this, because doing this will be seen as something that will cause his life to come to an end. And so if you're a man and you can relate to this and you can see that your true self has gone into hiding and you find it hard to connect to yourself and to express who you are, then you may need to reach out for external support, because there will be the beliefs that you will need to bring out into the light and to question. There will be emotional wounds and there will be trauma for you to deal with, so that you can gradually feel safe enough to express who you are, because you are not here to wear a mask and to hide who you are. You are here to express your true self. Doesn't mean that your needs will always be met, or your wants, but you are not here to hide who you are. You are here to be seen. And so if you can relate to this, please reach out for the assistance that you need, and don't suffer in silence. To find out more about the services that I offer and how I can assist you on your journey, go to www.oliverjrcooper.co.uk or email me at info@oliverjrcooper.co.uk. I'm looking forward to assisting you on your journey.